Good evening, Party Mondays, good morning, good afternoon, wherever the case may be for all of you great people. Welcome to today's festivities, where we shall paint this guy. Juhan, welcome. Welcome, Ghost Raven, yes, indeed. Beautiful Party Monday, Foxalotl, thank you. Outstanding of you. It's a glorious start to today, friends, glorious start to today. We've made some progress on this project so far, and I'll show that off. I just want to get underway on this first, and we're gonna mix something up a bit here with this process for some reason. Probably not a wise idea, but we shall. Gonna go in hot and heavy with a green to start us off. G'day Celery, what's going on, mate? Oh, there's a fucking gap I didn't fill. Probably not a problem. I'm going to be looking from that direction. Ah, well, welcome to the club. Hopefully you enjoy using it as much as I enjoy using mine. Outstanding. Use a mask, people. Use a mask when using your airbrush. Don't be like me. I probably change it a little bit more than I should. So the handle, the compressor for my airbrush is right just here. So like just underneath my hand there. So normally when I reach over there, I'm turning the airbrush on or off. Or I'm just tweaking the pressure slightly. So the tweaks that I do when I'm doing a base coat, I tend to run a higher pressure than when I'm doing a detail work. So it's just depending on what I do is when I'll change the pressure. So for example, I'm still on the same pressure as I was before for this, because it's still sort of a base coat. G'day Minimancer. Yeah, so as a general rule, if I'm doing detail work, my pressure will float at around 15 psi. When I'm doing base coats, it's probably closer to 25. But the most frustrating thing about the airbrush is there's no correct answer, because that pressure varies depending on the type of paint that you're using, how dilute your paint mixture is, the type of airbrush that you have, the needle. You know, all those things influence the pressure you need. So it's all about troubleshooting the various levers that you have that you can toggle to try and establish what you're trying to achieve. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Mate, there's a metric shit ton of videos on the internet about airbrushy facts, and those can all explain all those elements and how they interact and why far better than I can here. But if you're looking for some direction, Miniac actually made a video on airbrushing 101, which was quite good for broad strokes info. Alright, I'll let that dry for a little bit. Let's have a look at what I've been doing. So this is what we did on the last stream. So this is the Draxy, welcome. I'll just turn this bad boy down. What's going on, Drax, you superstar? Yeah, as I said, there's lots of ways you can get get info about airbrushing. Yeah, so this is the chap we started on stream yesterday. So this is the dude who stands at the top of the thing. Not finished yet, still very much in embryonic stages, but I'm reasonably happy. My biggest issue is this is actually the viewing angle from the position he is on the base from the front on, and I was sort of treating it more like this. So my mistake, but we need to tweak it so it's a little bit more like this. So specifically, this needs a little bit more light, this area in general. This probably needs a little more light. This needs a little bit more attention just to bring up some of the details, and then, yeah, just a tweak for these bits maybe here as well. So we'll work on that, probably not tonight, but it's the first one. The second was what I worked on as a first stage to establish the palette. So this is the dude who rides the beast. I'm not really sold on anything yet. I want to do some more tweaking and stuff to these bits and pieces, but yeah, fun so far. And then this dude is what I've been working on at the moment, which is the buffhead. I was confident I was going to hate painting this. Absolutely certain, and I'm loving it. I love painting fur. I love interesting skin tones, interesting colours. So this has been really good thus far. So we'll continue. Probably not on that tonight. Maybe we'll do a little bit tonight. I was sort of having some fun experimenting with the skin, but yeah. And then the base, we made a little bit of progress on the base. So yeah, we're all systems go on Diorama. All systems go. Yeah, so we're gonna paint this chap tonight. I started with a green base. Yes, it is a green palette overall. We're going for a Nurgle palette. Yeah. So we'll have a bit of a variation between each of the models, but yeah, the overall vibe is green, absolutely. Oh, I actually need to think about viewing angle on this guy, so I don't make the same mistake as I did last time. Yeah, he's more like that. as in the pins on his feet. Go Gribbix, what's happening? Jump out. Is that the finished bust? Shrasil, or whatever it was. Sure. Ah, cool. Oh, that's awesome. I absolutely love shit like that. Like that style, that aesthetic. And I haven't painted a lot of it. I really should, because I love it. There was a piece I saw on Putty and Paint quite a while ago now that was like a Wizard of Oz but done in a really cartoony style. I loved it. I was all about it. Alright, so we're gonna try and be very, very loose with these brush strokes because it's Nurgle, so we want to have some texture. Oh, this is such an awesomely sculpted rear of this model. Many of you would know that I normally do start with painting the skin tone, and as you can see I'm not doing that today. It's because I'm going to use a fair bit of airbrush on this cloak, so rather than worrying about masking, I'm going to do it in reverse, paint the cloak first and then do the airbrush afterwards. And then do the skin. Yep, he sure does, because he's a cool guy. grab my bigger brush. So the only downside to my approach on this project thus far, which is pick up a model I feel like painting and start painting it, I haven't really considered how every element goes together. I haven't considered the overall appearance, where I want to draw focus, anything like that. However, the way that I am approaching the figures is I'm not trying to get them all finished one by one and then put them together and go, oh wow, this fucking looks shit. I'm trying to establish an overall sense of what the final piece might look like, so that I can then put them all together and go, wow, that's working, not working, need to change, hey Benny, need to change my color palette or remove some contrast or add some contrast. Like, already looking at the base, I feel like we need to just tweak the contrast a little bit more on the base. Hey Bunny, happy Party Monday, Bunny the mod. G'day Jen, what's happening champion? What colour should I highlight this with, I wonder? For some reason I'm thinking a brown or a orangey tan might be interesting. Or a skin tone. I don't know how I can make a skin tone work. Well, I've just signed myself up for that. That sounds interesting. Definitely want it to be an orangey skin tone, because a pinkish skin tone is going to come out red, which is going to turn this grey. And we do not want grey. What's been happening, Jan? Have you been painting, mate? I think I've talked a little bit about like these sorts of projects before on my stream, and I don't know how relevant this sort of conversation is, because I don't know too many people that are out there going, you know what I want to do? I want to paint a fucking diorama with 7 models on it. Yeah, that's what I want to spend my fucking next 4 weeks doing. So I sometimes feel like this sort of commentary about how I stay motivated on something like this is really uninteresting for most people, but I'm going to do it anyway. I think sometimes we get overwhelmed with the task ahead of us, and one of my bosses, my boss at work, he's got this great expression which I love, which is, we eat the elephant one piece at a time. I find that to be a very funny metaphor. But it's just like, yeah, Conrad. But it's a really pertinent sort of perspective to have in this, because if you look at the elephant and go, fuck, I can't eat that elephant, you tend to get worked up on what you can't do, instead of focusing on the little things that you can do. So I think my first piece of advice, if you're trying to start something like this, is just set yourself a task each day. That task doesn't need to be paint a whole fucking diorama. That task needs to be make progress each day. My progress is usually more than other people's, because I paint very quickly, but make progress each day. Some days I don't make a lot of progress. Some days I make a shit ton. Saturday I didn't make as much progress as I would have liked. Today I'm going to make a lot. Tomorrow I'm probably not going to make any, because I have work and board games. Wednesday night, not so much, because I'll be streaming. G'day Bucks. I'll be streaming on Word Minis, but even if I can sit down for 20 minutes at some point, throw my brush at one element, paint a nurgling, eat the elephant one piece at a time. That piece of advice, I suppose, is applicable to, hey Scott, many elements, not just gigantic dioramas, but you can also apply that to miniature painting in general. Sometimes a big brand new model can be overwhelming. Section at a time, friends. So this is an orangish skin tone. We may go into sunny skin tone after this. I think that'll be interesting. An interesting looking green. Sorry, Chuhan, I'll try and slow down a bit for you, mate. Thank you, Ada Kim. Yep. Yeah, I'm reasonably happy so far. I don't think I don't think I can see the final vision yet, but I think we've made some reasonable progress. I think I've got 8 sitting up there. I'm intending on painting all 8, and we'll just assess how many of those are needed once I get grass on the base and shit like that. But at this point in time, I think I'd like to have 8, but I may even decide that I need more. They absolutely do. You know how you go on a weird YouTube bender sometimes and you end up watching weird videos? Well, last night at about 2 a.m, I think I was watching a video on Bloodsport. Remember that movie Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme and the Kumite? It was fantastic. Great film. Great film from my childhood. Well, as I was eating my dinner before stream, I was like, I better throw on a TV show. I finished Titans Season 2 yesterday on Netflix. I didn't want to start Black Sails just yet, Bucks, because, as in tonight, because I didn't want to have to stop halfway through an episode. So it's happening, but so I was like, I'll just throw on the next episode of Archer. Season 11's coming out. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll go watch the next episode of Archer. The episode is called Blood Sploosh, and it's about blood sport, and I just sat back on my heels as like, fuck, life is weird sometimes, eh? It is just, it needs to calm down. I don't appreciate that sort of attitude, just putting stuff in my face like that and then turning around and making it worse. Fuck you, life. Alright, let's get a little bit of sunny skin tone onto this, can't go wrong. Maybe a little bit less of a transition first demo. This guy's a weird model because, in principle, I love Nurgle sorcerers, but this model's possibly my least favourite of all of them because of the very hunched over pose, a lot of unnecessary doodads. I don't know, just doesn't do it for me that much. But I am enjoying painting the robes. Three-armed dudes are very sus. especially when one is not even attached to the body. It's actually just attached by a chain to the other arm. So it doesn't even provide any actual function other than being a dangly paperweight. Alright. I'm reasonably pleased with this thus far. But let's make some shit happen. Airbrush, woo woo. We're gonna go a little bit crazy this time. I'm gonna do some fancy airbrush tricks for a change. Fancy. I'm so fancy. You already know I'm in the fast lane. From LA to Tokyo. We haven't started the fancy tricks yet. This is just basic. Directional. Airbrushing that I'm sure many of you are capable of doing, if not all of you. I've seen Ben's attempted an airbrush. Speaking of dirty paint water in, great figure painted by $2 if you haven't seen it in the dirty paint water in. Very cool Conan bust. Feel free to post a picture of it in the chat, mate, if you want. What we're going to do is we're going to add successive layers of, I don't like the purple dude. I can talk about why later on. I'm going to add successive layers of dots to this. I'm going to start with a very dilute dot in a green. Good one, Dino. Some great photos there, friends. Really impressive work. Highly recommend having a Bo Peep. So we are going to add many dots of many different colours to build up the perspective of a tattered and torn cloth. Then we're going to paint some contrast paint over it, and then we're going to do some highlights, and it should look like a worn bad boy of a cloak. So what I'm doing is, you can see this paint in the brush. What we're doing is we're pulling back, which is loading paint into the nozzle, but we're not putting air on. Then we're just putting air. Very, very good technique. I use it often for freckles. Creates a very, very effective looking freckly texture. Caution, if you're not familiar with the process, I would recommend starting with a very dilute paint. It will take time to get the feel down. Once you get it, however, you can do it pretty quickly. Usually want to focus more on the bottom half. That's where dirt tends to collect. Vary the distance you do it from, so you get different sputter. You're very welcome, mate. Cheers for listening to my advice and not just, you know, listening to me for 2 hours and then ignoring my advice. Alright. Let's go a dark blue. Sometimes you do that by accident, and that's okay. Alright, cool, happy with that. Yeah, it's fine. I think we might put that away for a second. Just for the moment. Let's do some strokes. We'll go green, blue, and a bit of this. Alright, so now I'm just going to add a little bit of deep shadow. And some more. Mate, I would never kill you. G'day, Alex. It definitely does work, because all you're doing is you're loading paint into the into the atomizer bit, and all airbrushes have that bit, but there is a trick to getting the right air pressure, and there is a trick to getting the right consistency of paint. And I'm going to assume that means you got it. Good for you. If you like pina colada and getting caught in the rain, if you're not into yoga, I am into champagne. If you like making love at midnight in the dunes of the Cape, I'm the love that you search for. Come with me and escape. All right, we're gonna have a look at Ghost Raven's minis in a sec. I'm sure many of you have already looked. You're making love at midnight in the dunes of the Cape. I'm the love that you search for. Come with me and escape. Alright. This is pissing me off. Every time I fucking tweak the exposure, I'm like, yeah. Alright. Excellent. Ghost Raven, what do we got going on here, champion? Let's have a bow peep. Boom. It's very dark. Okay, I can see it now. I very much like... G'day, Wampa. I very much like the shapes you've created with the trees. I talk a lot about negative space when I'm talking about dioramas and so on and so forth, and composition of bases, because it's very important that you have visual interests, things that you can look through, things that you can look under, and that's a cool example of how you can do something a little bit different. Like this angle here in particular, I think you can see there's a lot of cool shapes. It's probably a little bit scale incorrect. So when I say that, I mean the twig is a little bit, or the branches are a little bit too big for the scale of the figure. Certainly when you can see the broken off tops anyway. So it may have worked better if those were slightly smaller, narrower. But it's really cool. I particularly like the ropes. I like the different colours. I think the lichen that you've glued to the trees probably would have been better not with the red ones. I think the red one is very distracting to the overall figure. Like when I look at this, the only thing I see is that red piece of lichen. But I like the colour choices, very cool, mate. Pretty awesome for your second paint job from those guys. Well done you. Keep chipping away, pal. Come with me and escape. think I want to add something a little more pinkish, the skin tone. You're welcome, mate. And you're welcome anytime. Alright, let's use a contrast paint. Some dark green. Yeah, maybe some light green actually. Excellent. It's the 25th, mate. It's Monday night, the 25th. Absolutely, mate. The rules are, if you are willing to get feedback, if you want to get feedback, the rules are that you're going to get fucking hammered. And that's okay, because it's the only way we get better. Having said that, roll painting, I do try and cater my feedback for the level of painter. So, my mum gave me a great piece of advice when I was younger: if you can't handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Haven't cooked a day in my life. So, great advice from her. Thanks, Wal. She's regretting that conversation now. Ugh. Yeah, I might just do a little bit of blue. Why? No clue. That was actually a true conversation. Good. Understand that I'm having you in the interest of trying to help you improve as a human being as well as a painter. Being able to take feedback is a crucial life skill that many people somehow go through their entire lives without getting. Alright, that's enough fucking around with the airbrush. Let's move into some other stuff. Skin tones and what have you. All right, well, they've given you a wrap here, mate. So we might be on for some actual fucking hammering here. I haven't been able to hammer someone for a while. Let's have a bo peep. Have you got some non-Instagram photos, like Discord photos or something you can link to me? Because I'd like to zoom in, and I can't zoom in on Instagram. Okay, that would be good. I've got some things to critique, which is always good. I'll turn that off while you're organising your photos and so on. I love it when we... Good. Okay, my first. So I'm trying to be really specific, I guess, with my feedback. So the first element is your non-metallic metal is good, very convincing, but not everywhere is it convincing. This particular section up here, the gold, doesn't look like gold. It looks like a dirty brown with a spot of light. I'm assuming that's meant to be non-metallic metal gold. I believe it is, but if I'm incorrect, feel free to correct me. What you've done well on this weapon is you've really got that bright light and the transition between dark on the staff component, and that looks like gold, particularly from here. It's gleaming. This looks like muddy brown. So this is fine. In terms of there's a lot of things I like about it. You've got the environmental reflections, you've got the the nice contrast between light and dark. Where I think this falls down, and this is a harder thing to do, is that is one volume. That whole weapon is one piece of metal, and so it should actually reflect like one piece of metal. And what you've done is you've painted each of those different segments as individual volumes, and so you're losing a little bit of that sense of it being one element. Hello, someone, Typhonia Starheart, thank you for following. You're losing a little bit of the sense of it being one piece. So it still reads as metal, which is great, but I think as you zoom in, particularly the area just underneath the ball with the pink dots, when you zoom out, that bit looks wrong, whereas the bit sort of further out in the middle where the highlight is, because you've sort of got a line going up there, that reads a little bit better. So this undertone of pink on the metal of these wings is great. However, you haven't done it right, because the second layer of the wings is facing downwards just as much as the first layer, and yet you haven't put any pink on the second layer of wings. Probably doesn't need to be as much, but it certainly needs to be present, and it's not. I talk a lot about focal points, and I think probably the focal point on this is this piece of fabric, which is good. It's drawing your gaze to the right area, but I do think that it would have been better served with a dark piece of fabric and the face being much brighter, so that what you're then getting, because the model's got a lot happening, right? There's a lot of lines and a lot of things drawing your eyes all over the place. You want to have something to really latch onto, and what I'm latching onto at the moment is this. And that's interesting, but we really want to feel a sense of connection to the model, and the way we get that is by the eyes and the face and the expression. And so it's actually one of the last things I looked at was the face. So I think this common piece of advice I give is you always want to change the values of your piece, sometimes artificially, so that the value of the face is higher and really draws your eyes. That can be hard to do on a model when there's a lot going on, when they're looking downwards, which is great. This is cool, the ball's great, the base is cool. Where I think the base could potentially be improved, again, creating a sense of focal point. If you had have made the gems down the bottom darker, a darker red, maybe even a purple, as opposed to magenta, what you'll do is you'll create this shift of people's eyes towards the ball, which is a really cool element. Let me have a look at the back, because I think there was another piece that I observed on the back. So this is a fine example of something that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, why is this bit pink but the other bit, the side bit, not pink? That'd be ridiculous, mate. Like, if you're going to do the fucking back pink when there's no pink gems at the back of her, you got to do that side bit pink as well. Fucking joker. But you can see this. It's kind of gold from this angle. Kind of gold. The left wing, the wing on our left, looks better than the right wing does in terms of reading as gold. I would probably like to see a little bit more on the leg. I think, are they supposed to be pinstriped leg things? What are those things called? Fuck, you know what they're called. Okay, here is my final piece of advice. Stockings. This is actually my favourite angle of the piece. I'm sorry to say, this is my favourite angle. Love this. This is fucking baller, pun intended. This looks great as metal. This is a nice contrast between orangey, red and green. We've got a really interesting flow. The only thing I will say about this angle, and in general, I think you could do more to represent different textural elements. So the metal feels right, feels shiny and glossy and metallic. The gold less on this angle, but you've got a very similar highlighting technique on the fabric, and you've got just airbrush on this. I assume that's airbrush. If it's not airbrush, that's fucking very impressive. I think what you need is a contrast between textured and smooth, and I think this wing would have been a perfect place to do some veins, do some interesting dots, lines, texture, because that then creates a really interesting dynamic alongside the smoothness of the metal and the smoothness of the fabric. So, but that is the correct. That is the direction that I would be fucking displaying that model if I purchased that. So take from that what you will. Very done. Done. Thank you. Good job. Ashenhold, you superstar. What's going on? We're just doing a wee little bit of feedback, mate. You're very welcome, mate. And Chuhan, don't take that to heart. As I said, I try to cater my feedback for the level of painter. I very rarely go ham-fist on a painter who is not as advanced. I won't say I never do. Sometimes people need a fucking kick up the arse. Oh, she was cranky at me yesterday too. She's like, fucking stop pointing out my sneezing, you fuck. Here is water. This colour that I'm using right now is a Chimera paint called Red Oxide. Great colour. I'm trying to use it on most of the figures as something of a unifying colour. And I'm going to slide into pinkish skin tone, pinkish green. Please, anytime, mate. That's what we're all here for. Just soak up my valuable fucking streaming hours with fucking feedback. I'm just kidding. I like trying to help. Like that piece there was a fine example of me having to stretch myself into analysing what I would consider someone who's probably better than I am. It's always difficult to give feedback to someone you believe is better than you. Sometimes you're in that position. One other thing I like to recommend about my advice, as I so freely give advice all the time, sometimes the best piece of advice you can have is to not listen to everyone's advice. And ultimately you will reach a point where you have to do something of your own volition, of your own perspective, that maybe is inconsistent with people's advice. And oftentimes there will be those moments and those experiences that will really help you. And following someone's advice in many ways is that old expression, you can teach a man to fish. You know how it goes. Give a man a fish, he can feed himself for fucking a day. Teach a man to fish and blah blah blah. You'll know what I'm saying. So I try to explain why when I give advice. I don't just say, hey, make this darker, make this lighter. But yeah, sometimes ignore the advice. That is on point, actually. Fantastic observation. I am indeed channeling the green. Ah, fuck, we have to do that bit. Fuck. It's why my last piece of advice is actually probably the most important one. Sometimes you just gotta fucking do your thing. Because I guarantee you, if all of the great miniature painters in the world were just like, yep, I'll just do everything exactly the way Ben Comets does or the way Games Workshop does, you know, everyone would be exactly the same and we would all be worse for it. I will indeed do some airbrushing. If you're wondering, Deno, are you going to airbrush this to make it look better? Yes. If your question is, are you going to do some airbrushing, before you ask it, yes. Yes. Yes, I definitely think that my advice is a lot more tough love than other people's. That is a conscious choice, as many people in here would remember from a conversation we had on stream. Someone who said, stop being a dickhead, and I said, I shan't. I shan't stop being a dickhead. I shall continue providing advice the way that I see fit. Sometimes people need to hear it that way. Sometimes they don't. And if you're one of those people who doesn't need to hear it that way, I'm very sorry. Know that I like you just as much. Honestly, sometimes you do just need to say something that makes you look like a dickhead. That can be the most important conversation. I'll tell you a story. No, it's hard to tell that story. It's hard to tell that story without talking too much about my work, which I try not to do. But one of the best conversations I ever had at work was a conversation when someone told me I was a fucking idiot. Because I got more from that conversation than I reckon I did. Eventually, not straight away. I was pretty spewing straight away. It was the catalyst for many good things. Yeah. I think social media's got a lot of contribution towards that. People are very tied into their online personality, world, environment. Derive a lot of self-worth from it. My girlfriend and I tentatively talked about SMC next year today, which is exciting. I'd like to go back to SMC. Good on you, role painting. Have an awesome day, mate. Well, just to use you as an example, Space Toy, I think some of your recent works have been your best. And whether that's entirely up to me, I'll claim full credit for. I'm sure there's a small element of your own effort and energy there, but I think we'll take full credit. On your Deno, one of your fucking best, mate. Grey clouds roll over the hills, bring darkness from above. But close your eyes. Fortunately, Big Dano doesn't care if people think he's an arsehole. Many people do think that. My girlfriend included. And they're probably right. I love painting with a shit brush. Sometimes it is actually the best thing because it just gives you unplanned brush strokes, unplanned texture. Oh, there's a fucking foot there, Dano. You stupid kid. That's alright, we'll cover it with grass. Cover it with grass. Let's do this bit blue. Exactly. We don't make mistakes. We just have happy accidents. This is your world. You're the creator. Very good point again, Ashenhold. I think there is an element of when you posit something for feedback, you have to be willing to receive that feedback. However, if you just post a picture because you're proud of it, and you don't want feedback, then it's a dick move to be like, hey man, you're a shit painter. Why don't you fucking be better? Bunny's never posted in here for feedback. She's worried I'm going to tear her to bits. She's fucking right too. I'd fucking have you for breakfast. Hey, you know what we might do? Are you champions? Are you champions in the fucking Discord? Let's go have a look. You kicking around? Oh, g'day. No, you know, I thought it'd be good, Bunny. You can give me some feedback, mate.
Why?
Because you bought one of my models. Everyone, this is Bunny and Ben and $2. So, say hi.
G'day.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah. So you can rip on me for a change.
Okay.
Fucking tear me to pieces.
Oh, you know I won't do that.
Please do. You deserve to.
Do that. 10 pieces, Ben.
What?
Yeah. You heard me. The only thing really is I like to see texture in the skin.
Good.
And that's it. Yeah.
I'll bring up the piece that Bunny's talking
I
about.
would say, other than that, you're pretty fucking flawless, mate.
Oh, thanks, mate. But no, feel free to just be a bit more ruthless.
You know, I got some thoughts.
Please.
No, they're good thoughts. Do you know what was really good? I'm excited for you to see some of my figures in person and Bunny's after that.
Are you disappointed? Are you nervous? Like,
no, I think we're further ahead than we give ourselves credit for, if that makes sense.
or I'm not as far ahead. One of the two.
Yeah, maybe I've put you on too high of a pedestal.
You definitely have.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what actually happened.
You definitely have.
Yeah, no, the only criticism I have about this piece is literally like personal taste. I think her skin is a bit too smooth.
It is indeed smooth.
She's very smooth, but that's it. Other than that, I love it. It's on my desk.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice piece.
Um,
It's interesting seeing it next to the Wise Woman as well. It's like totally different.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's so much texture in Wise Woman.
there is. And I think that's a good observation that the skin is very smooth, and that's partly because that model for me screams smoothness. But I do like your skin tones more than mine sometimes, because you have some nuance, and real skin tones are not-
Blemishes and all that kind of stuff.
real. So she's a bit too perfect.
Also, I would have painted her nails black.
Yeah, one of the things I am really bad at, there's a lot of them, but I'm no good at makeup. Makeup in general, I suck
Her
at.
makeup's fine, I
Yeah,
think.
but I don't do good eye makeup, and I don't do good lipstick, and I don't do good. What was the other thing you said? Oh yeah, nail polish. I'm bad at all that.
Yeah, I think her nails definitely need to be black.
Yeah,
Just to sort of have a little bit of
contrast,
something something.
a little something. I dig
But
it.
other than that, like her makeup's nice. I think her lip color suits well.
That was your change, actually.
Yeah, 'cause she had it too pink.
I did.
Too pink. No, really good. Ben sent me a photo of the box when I was at work,
Yeah.
and I basically ran out the door as soon as work finished
Nice.
to get home to her.
Very cool. No, well, look, thank you for taking a punt on a poor aspiring artist.
Oh no, I love her. As soon as you started painting her, I knew I had to have her.
Oh, glorious.
Yeah, that was the one. Very, very early.
That was, yeah. Here's the thing. I've said this to this group before, that I normally don't really like most of the females that you paint.
Yep.
There's something about their faces, and I think it's just the smoothness.
Yep.
But this one I absolutely adored. I love her.
I
This is by far the best one I think you've done.
appreciate your feedback. I do think that she was good.
Mm.
A lot of things I liked about her. Anyway, anyone got any questions for the fucking chat? Any chat questions for the team? What's going on? Haven't got a lot to talk about at the moment. I'm pretty focused on my fucking diorama, so.
Looking fun so far, man.
Bucks, you're usually good for a shit question. You got something for me, mate?
I think you love my questions, mate, personally.
I never said I didn't, mate.
I think you're quite fond of them.
Never said I
He
didn't.
is.
I am also quite in depth in painting right now, so I was just enjoying listening along. So I don't have a specific question lined up at this moment.
All right, I'll give you 5 minutes, mate. I'll give you 5.
I'll whip one up.
Good, appreciate that. I am very much enjoying this fucking dude. He's just a fucking weird guy.
He's a bit weird model, isn't he?
I just find it's there's a lot of elements that I like. I like these robes, and I like the skin that's nuanced and interesting, and horns are always fun to paint. There's a big old gnarly piece of wood and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just can't get enthusiastic about painting it.
Yeah.
Good question.
Go.
All right. So, in the interest of the conversation and the fact that we're talking about self-improvement and getting better at painting and things, if you could replace one of your skill sets with a new skill set in painting, right, and it could just be done tomorrow, you've learned it, you drop one out, you download the next one, what are you going to be great at? What's the thing you're taking? You know, could be non-metal metallic, could be better skin tones, texture, you know.
This is actually an
ourselves.
easy one for me to answer. Easy
Yeah.
one. Well, but depending on, this might not be the type of answer you're after, but I would actually drop my speed.
Yep.
And I would drop in attention to detail.
Okay.
Because I think that's the thing that most lets me down, is my speed.
Space Soy says he would drop dry brushing for better non-metal metallic. I think non-metal metallic would be a popular one for a lot of people, especially with some of the grades floating around, constantly breaking into new territory with how we do it.
Like the great Kirill, whom Ben doesn't think is that great.
The great Kirill.
He's the average Kirill.
You're a fucking idiot.
At the top of the list. Or of course Lamb.
Lamb. Let's have this conversation now. We started it the other night, and I'm interested.
Okay.
I'm interested. Not the
Strap
Kirill.
strap in, chat.
Not the Kirill one. I don't want to get myself fired up. Now let's go best figure of the year thus far.
Alrighty.
Best figure of the year.
I reckon it's that Hera model chick with the big armor lady. We were talking about this the other morning. When
Well,
we
I think we had her as best female bust.
Yeah, figure's too broad. We need to best female bust.
Best female bust of the year.
I'm going to stick with my original. I'm going to say Niobe was the best female bust so far this year.
All right.
No, I like the Hera models chick. I can't remember her name. The one with the big armor. She looks like her battle sister.
Man, I gotta look at female busts because I paint gnomes and old men.
Okay, so I don't remember this conversation because I'm pretty sure I fell asleep. The other
You
night
did.
during this
You
chat.
did. Here it is. This one, Rahel. Her.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I love her.
There is
I
a
have-
lot of great things on that, isn't there?
It's a fantastic sculpt. But the reason why I would say Niobe is because the difference between the Neko stuff before and the Inner Kingdom stuff, it seems like there's like the old stuff's great, but the jump to the Inner Kingdom stuff and watching you paint Niobe on stream, that model has got fantastic lines.
Yeah, she's
Right.
glorious.
Yeah.
So here is my observation. The Niobe model only is in that conversation because of the ridiculous paint job from Athami Alonso.
Yeah.
Because I don't reckon anyone would have looked all that impressed. We're still sitting on this one. We're still sitting here. It's improved. Like I like where it's at now. There's just a few elements I need to tweak and then do the base and then we'll be done. So yeah, I just got too jazzed for this diorama. So. I can't give it to Niobe because of that reason. To me, she is just too. I'm too impressed by the paint job by Athami Alonso.
Okay, so taking away.
If you're going to straight model, not paint job, because paint jobs can like influence the models and stuff. I still love the Rahel chick.
Yeah.
Like hands down, she's so cool.
Well, I mean, we know what it is like. I mean, that was a subjective choice. I think if I were being objective, we're going to just zip on over to Big Child Creatives, and we're just going to go ahead and give it straight to
Alana.
Alana. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's my pick too.
Was the Bromwich Hera the Moon? Was she this year?
Yeah.
I love her too.
Mine works have really come on this year.
There's too many. We give an honourable mention to Morgana.
There's
Morgana
two
an honourable
that I
mention.
like that I don't think many people. Well, I don't know if many people like them or not, but it was from that Rain Ajora images, whatever it was.
Oh, Rhino
The one you
Roja.
painted.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I really liked the chick like peeling herself with the skeleton like showing. That was a really cool one. And then the other one, where she's got like the dead deer skull on her head and the hands.
Oh yeah.
Huntress.
I just thought those two models were really, really cool.
It's always cool when someone does something different, you know, like
yeah,
that's
like,
where
I think
those
that's why I
figures
liked
were
those
good.
two. They were really interesting visually to look at.
Best male.
Bust?
Bust? Best male bust.
We've got very different opinions on
I don't know.
those.
I don't paint male busts.
If they aren't old with a beard down to wipe their ass, they shit.
if they don't have an absurd look on their face, like
Oh.
someone's just stolen something from out from under them, or if one eye is not greatly larger than the other eye as he peers into you, then that's me out.
I'll go some options. Niobe, Calorimar, Niobe. I think those FER miniatures that the Gaelic figures.
Yeah.
I actually think they were some of the best released figures. The Vercingetorix was definitely one of my picks. I've got that sitting over there.
I feel very underprepared because I only
for me-
came to display painting in the last sort of 3 or 4 months, so it's been a big catch-up game. So
Are we-
everything is new to me this year.
Go, Bun.
In that regard.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the similar boat.
Yeah.
Are we going for like commercially available or like privately available? Because otherwise, that
Thanks.
Hera.
Yeah,
Bust?
I don't think there's a hard and fast rules here, mate. We're not breaking.
Yeah.
Okay, the Geralt bust by that
Ooh,
kid.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a fucking
oh
Torbjorn.
yeah.
Torbjorn. Yep.
Geralt and that Mads Mikkelsen.
The Mads Mikkelsen was
Hey,
impressive.
I reckon we need to quantify. We need to quantify what makes a great bust, right? Like, what's the crime? What are we looking for? Is it just like, hey, this is cool? Because there's a ton of things that are this is cool, but I mean, there's the difference between painting a Lucas Pena sculpt and painting someone else's sculpt is that the man's got the best hair in town. You know, like that's what makes it like such a fantastic part of the process and enjoyment and getting your hands on one of them. So I think it's sort of what you're looking for in a bust as well.
That's a very good point, Bucks. Unusual from you, but you're absolutely right. Sometimes it's painting a figure, and you go, wow, this isn't that great to paint. Sometimes a figure can just look fantastic sculpted, and other times it's fucking dog shit to paint.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think for the purposes of this discussion, the figure that we're looking for as our best male bust is one that looks like it will paint well. I don't know that many of us have painted all of the figures that came out this year. Yeah, looks like it will paint well. Has natural, a good combination of elements, right?
Yeah.
Those sorts of things are obvious. But like, one of the magic of Lucas's figures, right? The absolute magic is it's just every little thing has care and attention, and mistakes, but almost like conscious mistakes. I love Lucas Pena. Did I ever tell you when I met him?
Mini Amph Spira Ronin he puts up. This is a piece that draws very mixed reviews in our group.
It's a no from me.
Some love and some don't love, and Dano and I and Bunny stand on the don't love camp.
So actually, it's just Ben who likes it. The fucking idiot.
No. Jim loves it. And I believe Mole Man loves it too.
All right. Well,
I don't think he's released anything that's spoken to me. If you see what I paint, I have a very particular taste.
I'm disappointed in you.
He's not your style, but I would have loved to have seen you paint the Elf Rider. I think you could have. I think you could have nailed the Elf Rider. That was a fun piece.
I've done.
Who's brought out what this year? I need to really get in and have a good look. What's Journeyman done this year?
One of my favourite busts that I painted this year was the little troglodyte one, just because from Spirit. It was so easy, and it was really nice forms and volumes. Just was such a joy, that one, for a figure, and very simple too. There wasn't a lot, going on. It gave you room to think.
Did Journeyman release the Goblin in the Doorway this year?
Yep.
Cool. We'll leave that one for creatures. That's nice.
I think it's a lot easier to think of female busts, isn't it?
It definitely is.
Oh man, I got some male busts.
We had some good female busts this year.
I really liked. Oh wait, I don't know what year he came out. That's a problem. Octavius, was he this year or no? He probably wasn't.
Nah, I don't think
Octavius, don't believe so.
He-
No.
He was really fun to paint. He was really fun.
I mean, I tried to buy him from Jim the other day, and Jim sold out.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's sold out on all the good wizards at the moment.
Fucking hell, Jim. Saw your shit
Black
out.
Crow did a big restock,
Yeah.
right? So he should.
He'll be getting his restock
hopefully
soon, I
He should
believe.
restock as well.
yeah.
Black Crow did the swordsman bust.
Yes, they did.
The new.
Well, yeah, I mean that's super new, right? That's
Yeah.
like real recent.
It's not.
What's that? What's
It's not a win
yours?
for me.
I
What
didn't
one's
like
that one?
It's one of the, it's a remade one of their figure 75mm figure, the swordsman.
Yeah,
It's
not a
fine.
fan.
So it's a bit of a texture party.
Yeah, too much shit.
Yeah,
Too
too
much
much happening.
Oh, male
was-
bust.
Arthur?
Arthur.
Arthur was
No,
this
yeah,
year.
the monkey dude.
Yeah,
From
Arthur,
Beyond.
Dak. We had Silas, Arthur,
Yeah.
and Dak. They all male busts.
Yeah. I like him. He's cute.
Was
I
Cozy
like-
this year?
No.
No, last year.
Yep. Oh, she could have even been the year before. She's been out for ages. She came out
Yeah, she's been a while.
as a 3D STL this year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we're finding that we're much better with the people who've painted them versus the doctors who sculpted them.
Yeah, no, I stand by the Mads Mikkelsen and the Geralt busts.
Those are some good votes, Bunny. I'm probably on my Vercingetorix bust from FER Miniatures still at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm going to paint some wolf. I'm going to leave that guy for a bit. Let's paint some wolf.
Was
Hang on, I'm just going to look at my figures. The Ignis Art female busts came out this year, and there's some good ones in there.
I've got heaps of those, yeah.
Oh well, we had Rudix as well, right? There was a bunch of Rudix that came out. Carol Rudix.
Yeah. But most of his stuff this year was all of the bug people. Yeah.
Was that Dragonhead dude this year?
Windrider from Robot Rocket.
Windrider was, yeah. Wouldn't count as a bust though.
Actually,
I would say that would be like 75.
do you know what I like? I like the who did it? The Ronin that how do you say his name? Sculpted.
Oh yeah, Athami Alonso.
Yeah, the one he painted. I really
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Ronin. That's
Actually,
really-
was his in the Name of the Wind this year? Because that'd be a contender, surely.
Mm.
Was that one? Ben, that I put in voice chat shit. Is that one this year?
No.
Ah, okay.
No,
Because I like him. He's cool.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Who's the let's take a swerve. Who's the breakout painter of this year?
Ooh,
Ali Emil Young, that guy. Yeah,
Athami
he's
Alonso.
Yeah.
Niobe box art.
Niobe
Yeah.
box art for sure.
Yeah, dude, like he's like the shit he pumped out this year. Woo!
Land, Space puts up Land.
Oh, Land's really good though too. Yeah.
Well,
I
Land's
think,
always
I
been
think
good.
David Aroba took some big steps forward this year.
Both of those guys were already kings on the scene. Athami
and
Alonso
they're already big name.
really stepped up his game this year.
Who did? Sorry.
Athami.
Yeah,
Athami, yeah.
I reckon he was like
Athami
was a
and
breakout.
Natalia
I
was
talking about
Natalia
that
was the
night.
other one
He
probably.
just came out of nowhere. So it's like, whoa.
Ben, couldn't you say Alessandro?
What?
He's the Niobe boxer. Oh no,
No.
wrong one.
It's really hard for me to say it.
Don't call my name, don't
I just gonna call him Lonzo.
Alejandro.
What's his last name?
I don't know.
Athami Alonso.
Yeah,
Or-
that's tough for me to say. That's a tongue twister.
There's a couple of Alessandros. There's Alessandro Marinone, which is Shadows of Colours, and there's also Alessandro Gobbi, which is Code Revenge. Both of those guys are awesome. Natalia's got to be in the mix.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
about to say Natalia. She's come really far. Like, the stuff that she's bringing out this year.
Alright.
How's this totally fucking normal sized figure, eh?
Yeah, this thing's fucking sick. I really wanted
Yeah, it's
to.
beautiful.
I thought about getting this one.
This reminds me of a Seb Perbert or Perbe sculpt that he did for Golden Demon way back. Do you remember it? The Chaos. It was like a Chaos Warrior riding on a beast very similar to this. It was about 2005, 2006. I think it may have even Slayer sorted in England that year. It was a beast.
Literally.
Let me go see if I can find
Yeah,
it.
I don't recall it off the top of my head. I'm sure I'll remember it when I've seen it. That is an interesting observation that I can't immediately recall like 5 or 6 awesome male busts this year.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's weird.
Because they're normally split probably 60-40 females.
Yeah. All right, I got a question for you then. What's probably the most enjoyable piece you've painted this year? The one that was a bit effortless but felt really good.
Let's have a look through my fucking catalogue of this year. Fuck a lot of them. Grey clouds roll over the hills, bring darkness from above. But if you close your eyes, Crusader. No.
Crusader.
Fuck the Crusader.
Crusader is he's 2021 mascot.
Yeah, Space Toy, I'm with you. I paint a lot more like creatures, I think, or gnomes and wizards. I just really enjoy it.
Alright, probably Dwarf Miner was good. He was about 5 hours and he just came together.
Oh, he's a great figure.
Yeah, cool guy. This was fun. This guy. But I wouldn't say it was easy.
Yeah.
Wind Rider I did all on stream. I was a bit worried about streaming. So probably
He was the freehand project for you, wasn't he?
Yeah. Looks shit, doesn't it?
Excuse me, it's one of my favourites.
Yeah,
Well,
I was going to say, I really
the
like this.
freehand-
The dragon
the
heads
freehand.
steel though, like
The
the
freehand.
dragon heads.
Yeah, I like the dragon.
Thank you, Frog. That's my beautiful work, the Crusader with Denos face. Appreciate that.
Maddox could be my favourite, you know. Like, I just had a blast painting
Hey,
that guy.
and Maddox is also coming out in bus form, right? So
Ooh, there
we
we
put
go.
him in.
There we go. Yeah, I think it'd be Maddox. Like, oh, this idiot was fun too.
what about the
That was
what about the Viking character that you entered into Queensland Model Expo this year? The bus with the hammer.
Hammer Sandwich.
Right, is he this year?
That one.
Yep, that one. Yep.
Yeah. I liked him.
I love it. I really want to paint this. This is right up my alley.
Yeah, it's a good figure. Rebel Daphne was a breeze and she was fun to paint. I can tell you what wasn't my best. Fucking Camelot.
Camelot is a body of work. It's not an individual piece.
Wouldn't be Curse City. Yeah, no, I definitely think it was Maddox. Maddox was just a breeze.
Yeah.
Just everything came together. It was beautiful. I loved every element of it. This guy would be on the list, but he's that's the Uther that I did the other day. But I wasn't quite happy with the end result. So
As always, as you get a few days away from it, that's how we feel. Right?
Yeah,
You tend to only see the things that you don't want to see. I was listening to some famous illustrators and drawers. There's David Finch, I think it is. This is a pretty cool 3-hour thing where he's drawing on a YouTube channel, and you know the guy's pretty god tier in his field of craft, and he's even on stream is sitting there like, I hate what I'm doing right now. I don't like it. Don't like the look of it. And everyone who's watching it is like, yeah, you've got to be absolutely insane, mate. Like, This is crazy good, right? So, I don't think those feelings ever go away. And I think it's about learning to live with them and use them to your advantage, right?
That is, yes, Andy, that is it.
if you never feel that way, you'll never reach a god tier. Like that's just
No.
what drives you. is
Yeah,
the
100%.
being able to critically analyse where your pieces are going wrong.
Yeah, very, very true.
And having a good supportive team around you, I have found, is very good too.
It does help. It does help a lot. Wish I was more supportive. Sorry about that.
You're supportive in your own way, mate.
That's a polite way of saying you're a fucking idiot, Dino.
No.
I wanted this skin tone to be greenish, sickly green, but I've
This
gone up
thing?
from a red, and it's
Since
very
I quite like this
yeah.
combo, the red green.
Too
It's really
much,
nice.
too much green though, right? If like the base is green,
Yeah.
cloak's green, that's going to be. we're
Well,
gonna
what,
have
what I'm trying
greens.
to do, is have the base be cold dark green, and have a lot of the greens on the figures be warm, alive yellowy green, to help the figures stand out from the base.
I dig it.
Alright, so I'm just gonna. I think Alana, the paint job on Alana is phenomenal. The paint job on Naomi is phenomenal, but David Aroba's Stormcast Eternal.
Oh
Just-
shit!
It just does something
Shit.
for
Literally
me.
looking at that, I've got it pulled up on my screen.
That is a good shout.
Yeah,
The
I think-
texture on the like cloth.
I think that might be the best paint job of the year, personally. And the reason why I will say that is because what he does with that model, we're talking a lifeless mask, right? And what he did to that mask to make it not, to fill it full of life was insane. To create a expression on a cold golden steel, a cold golden mask is, yeah, I don't know, did it for me. And then combine it with all the other textures, like it was well good.
I just like the textures.
I do love a good texture.
I don't know if you watched, but Aroba actually did a little video on his YouTube channel for how he painted a shield. It wasn't actually that shield on that figure, I don't think, but it was a Stormcast shield.
Stormcast one, yeah.
I did watch that. It was very interesting.
It's interesting, like, and not to toot my own horn, but he does a lot of things quite similarly to how I do them.
Do you know what? That is the fucking exact same thing I thought when watching it.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Funny that being that, like, you would easily say that you're most inspired by all the Spaniards.
Yeah, very true. Very true that I'm inspired by the Spaniard. But it's sort of good to see how far I've got to go. You know, like I can do the same sort of shit with my airbrush, and I can do the same sort of shit with my brush, and yet none of my shit looks like his. Not even close.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
His Borosaurus that he uploaded the other day.
Oh, yeah, unbelievable. I spent 5 minutes looking at it.
Yeah, I had it like fully zoomed in, and me and Ben were just like, fuck.
yeah. Actually, Cara Nash just posted hers.
Did you?
Yeah, not it's in the Aussie
Yeah.
Discord, but I think it might be my favourite. Conceptual wise, it's very good.
Is it finished?
Yeah, finished work. She's got a little fucking VB tinny on it.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
I very much like the idea that we're all trying to climb the same mountain, and I think it's important to have one hand up and one hand down, one hand to be pulled up and one hand to pull others up with you. And I think that's what you're talking about there with the like being able to just look at Aroba's stuff and go, hey, I've got a long way to go, but then you can feel that you've got all the tools there. It's just a matter of pushing through and keep on going,
Yeah, we probably don't spend enough time, as a general rule, really appreciating how far we've come. It's too often we talk about, fuck, look at where I want to be and why am I not there yet? And I think David's a fantastic example. Like he was brought under Ruben Martinez's wing a few years ago, and with that expert tutelage and with his own, drive and willingness to succeed, he's able to probably be in the top 5 painters in the world. But he started exactly where we did.
Yeah.
Very, very few years ago. So yeah, if he can do it, we absolutely can as well. But there is something magical about the way that he sees colours and the way that he just moves his brush in little tweaks and little shades, and some of the colours he picks. It's just like, can you fuck off, mate? Seriously.
Yeah, it is good.
It would be nice to be able to sit in a room with them and glean whatever we could.
It was.
Yeah, I'll bet it was.
But
I'll bet it was.
So actually at SMC we finished up the awards ceremony and everyone went and picked up their models, and then we all sort of congregated in the hall, the traders hall, which had pretty much packed up. But a lot of the guys went over to the big child stand and had pulled their models out to have a look at, and David was there and Ruben was there and Christoph Kovalchek and Albert Moretto Font and Robert Carlson and everyone was just hanging around having a chat. It was fucking awesome.
yeah, we're really sick.
Ooh, that's a very, very good shout there from Celery Paints. If you don't know it, Sick Willie's a painter from the United States of America, member of the League of Extraordinary Painters, of which I'm also a part of, that I don't do fuck all in my participation of. And he did a version of the Witch Horn from Mindworks Games that was pure scarlet, and it was all whites and then airbrushed some really intense red ink, and it's fucking awesome. We were actually talking about it. He was contemplating going in and adding some patterning on the red, and he decided not to. But I think that would have been absolutely fucking awesome if he could have nailed it. Because the only thing I'll say is it's a little bit flat. Incredibly vibrant and saturated, but flat.
Yes, I've heard about the League of Extraordinary Painters.
Yep. What would you like to know?
No, it's
I very much like the wanky name that we all were like, that's a terrible name. We shouldn't call ourselves that. And
do you
everyone's
have
like,
a handshake?
Fuck yeah, we
When
do,
you see
mate.
each
We've
other?
got handshakes and shirts and everything and a logo. It's fucking great.
Beating the logos no one is good.
Honestly, what happened was a couple of dudes were like messaging each other to try and be better, and one guy was like, oh, let's invite X-Old Mate into this chat, he's a really good dude. And then they all decided to do a Secret Santa for each other. And then next year, that one guy was like, oh, is it alright if I invite XYZ Mate into this chat? He's a fucking cool dude, and everyone will get along with him. And then, then every couple of months or every couple of weeks, a new person got added, and eventually it got to a point where there's like 25, 30 people in there, and I got invited into it because Colwell was in it, and he invited me into it, and then so there's now like a group of 50 people that were just initially in this chat group, just chatting away and like giving each other feedback, and it's like a fucking who's who of painters, like Riccardo Agostini and fucking Francesco Farabi and Willie, and just all these unbelievable painters, and all of them are willing to give the same sort of level of feedback that I try to give in this chat, sometimes more detailed and probably with a keener eye than I have. So it's literally just about
reaching, putting the hand down, lifting people up.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, keep leaning on that analogy, mate. Keep driving it. It's good.
Yeah, I just think it's really important, and as like being someone who's come along new to display painting, to have met some people like yourself and Benny and Storm and Jim, it's been like paramount in both the enjoyment of the hobby and getting better, and it's something that I really, really enjoy. Yeah.
I'll say this, I'm yet to meet someone in the painting scene who is an out and out fuckwit.
Yeah.
Like, everyone that I've met has just been really genuinely lovely and nice and wanted to hang out and wanted to chat. Can't say the same in my War Machine times. There were some absolute peanuts in there. But yeah, on the whole, everyone in the painting scene is just like, enthusiastic to share their passion for this very solitary hobby. Chris P, on the other hand, absolute fuckwit. Yes, to answer your question, Space Toy, I think that would be the way to approach it, because it's very hard to replicate the effect after you've done the red ink blast. So I would have done the pattern next, neatened up the pattern in monochrome black and white and then gone the red glaze. And you would absolutely then have to go and do some more touch-ups afterwards, but yeah. It was one of those Dale Rowney red inks too, so a real fucking punch your face off one.
Yeah, I need to grab a couple of those. I need to grab the black one, and I think the magenta one's apparently pretty good as well. Or there's an orange that they have, I think, that's a bit of a powerhouse from memory. So
I've only got the white, and it didn't impress me.
that's a Vincey V special, isn't it? He loves the Dalaroni stuff. He's always talking about
A lot of people recommend the white ink. I didn't find it that impressive.
Yeah, I've got the Liquitex one, and I think it does a reasonable job when it called upon.
I didn't read too closely into what his actual process was, because I was egging him on to do the fucking pattern. He had this really cool floral pattern picked out, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." And I said, "Fuck, man, this is gonna be so legit." And then he pulled out at the last second, which is always a good strategy in life, but yeah, in this instance it was a real shame. For my enjoyment anyway. Again, good life advice. See you, Scott. Thanks, champion.
Did Road Girl come out this year?
G'day, Lando. No, Road Girl didn't come out this year. The bust came out maybe 2 years ago, I would think, off the top of my head. Let's get a real fucking vibrant green. I'm sure I've got like a yellow fucking punch in the face green. Where are you little fucker? I'm sure I bought one that was like stupidly...
Escorpina green?
No, I've got that. I've got that. No, here it is. Here it is.
Toxic waste?
Check this fucking bad. Yeah, it's toxic waste. It's called...
Yeah.
You ready? You ready? Pistachio! Oh yeah! Yeah, get some pistachio. Jetskin, g'day mate, thanks for the follow. We're going to use some pistachio right now. It's going to be glorious. It's going to fucking punch your face off. Alright. Just be try and be a little bit careful with this, Tenno. No, I shall fucking go everywhere. Oh yeah. Pistachio.
That's a nice colour.
It is
Very
a nice
close
colour.
to toxic green.
It is.
Probably a
It
little,
is. It's probably a little yellower than toxic waste.
Yeah.
I think he's finished having his meltdown.
Oh, little Lando. Hugo came to visit on the weekend. He was on stream on Sunday morning, which I started at 7 a.m. by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm
you
not
guys
waking
wouldn't
up
have
for
even been awake.
Yeah, we'll probably not be catching that stream if it's at 7 a.m.
I don't reckon you'll catch that
Tough
stream
on
anytime ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sickening.
I love it. It's just one of the best times to paint. You just get up. It's very, very quiet, very relaxed. This is by Hera Models, mate. This is one of the models from the Kickstarter, the Wastelands Kickstarter. It's a full-on fucking figure. And I've done the rider, or I've started the rider, but yeah, I'm going to airbrush some green onto this skin tone. This is great. This is great. It's not futuristic, no. It's sort of a fantasy model, but yeah, the term Wastelands is a bit deceptive, really, isn't it?
Mm.
It implies futuristic.
You get that sort of Fallout
Yeah.
colour.
You can tell how much I give a fuck about this fucking space, eh? Oh, it was a ball sack. We'll get that done.
It does definitely look like... oh, it is? Oh.
G'day, Nullen TV. Welcome to the chat. I'm chatting with some friends of mine from Australia. And I'm also from Australia. They're much nicer than me. So it's a good time to be on. It's a good time to be in the stream. Alright, fuck it, I need to do some airbrushing. I'm dying over here. Guys, an airbrush for like 5 minutes. It's fucking killing me.
You embrace it. Embrace the brush.
I do like the brush, but fucking... I just like some of the stuff you can do with the airbrush. You can't do that with a brush quickly.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say no unless you're like, oh yeah, 7 weeks.
Okay, Grumpy Ren.
I think the most deceiving thing with an airbrush is when you're using it to glaze your skin layers. I was talking to the guys about this last time we hung out. You put the layer down and you're like, nothing happened. Oh, just whack another one on. Still nothing's happened. And then you whack another one and you're like, well, that's way darker than I intended.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I've fucked it now.
Yeah. Done that a few times recently. So.
That's a skill. This guy kind of looks like Battle Cat, doesn't he? Battle Cat! Yeah.
I wouldn't mind painting some of those He-Man models.
He-Man.
Wait,
Shock horror.
the little mini ones. Oh,
Shock
good.
horror.
I want all
Muscly
of them.
dude. Muscly
I want all of
dude.
them.
Line him up. Send him my way.
Give me Skeletor. Oh,
This could be a fucking terrible decision, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to use some of this toxic waste green to airbrush some glaze highlights on the skin. Glorious.
Oh.
He-Man. He-Man. Alright, here we go. Let's fucking roll.
oh dear.
It's fucking Battle Cat. Yes.
Did you watch the animated version, like the new one that came out? The
one on
Smith one, I
Netflix?
think it is? The Netflix one, yeah.
No, I didn't.
No, I haven't either
I gave it a whirl.
yet. Was it alright?
It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
I'm a big fan of the OG, so.
They did a remake of Thundercats. Oh, as well on Netflix.
Thundercats?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I gotta go watch that.
Thundercats. Oh.
They really sort of pitched us a when you think about all those cartoons, every one of them just looks like a wrestler of the late 80s, early 90s, eh? Just jacked dudes.
They are all from Hera models for this diorama, my friend. So. Alright.
Yeah.
What was that gladiator
Mhm.
that I really like the helmet from?
The gladiator. Oh, you like it's a myrmidon.
Myrmidons. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm painting one right now.
Oh, really?
It's a mini.
Well, myrmidons were the ones I believe. Now I can be pretty shit with this stuff, but I believe they're the ones that fought with sword and shield, and they had that specific sort of helmet.
Correct.
Gladiatorial pits.
Correct.
It's just that helmet with all those holes. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good. Oh god.
And then there was the dude with the spear in the net, and his
Yeah.
name was a
Trident in the net, I believe.
Trident.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Trident. Good call.
Yeah.
What was his name again? He was like a.
It was like Nautilus or something like that.
Don't think it was
something
Nautilus.
Nordic,
There we
if I
go.
remember.
Retiaris. Jan's on the money. Retiaris.
Retiaris, yeah. And Retiaris were got whipped pretty easily, I think, but they had the biggest opportunity to rise to fame because obviously if you were like an absolute Chad Retiaris, like the crowd would love you
Because no one was a
Yes.
fucking good Retiaris because they sucked. Because it's like,
'cause they suck.
my
So
guy,
you do
you've got a net and a trident, you idiot. Who do you think you are? Aquaman. Fuck off.
Yeah. Can you imagine, right? This like 6-foot jack dude is standing across from you, right? Spear ready, and you roll out there with a fucking heavy net. What are you gonna? Look, can you jump on the ground for me, mate? While I net you up, like.
Yeah, just stand
Get
still
him
for a
covered
sec,
here,
bro.
like,
Just
let
stand
me
still.
get one net off before.
Dick,
Got me.
Just let me throw the net at least, my guy. Just let me have a swing of that bad boy. Come on.
Can you imagine being like the Gill, from The Simpsons? The Gill of Ready RSU. You just travel straight for you. Yeah.
I do love gladiator combat because it makes no sense, really, does it? It's like,
No.
it's all fucking.
Just kill each other.
But the other one that doesn't make sense is the old rules of fucking engagement when you're a British redcoat. Let's all stand in a line and fucking shoot each other, but not move.
Yeah.
That's a dumb shit plan. That is like.
You know what? I know how that thinking came about. We did something very similar to that back when I first started my new job. We got a frisbee and we had blades on it. And we're like, all right, we'll stand still. It will form two lines and just peg it at each other. Whoever moves is a little bitch.
Yeah.
And that was a good day at work until IHS were like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
IHS guys. We used to in the quiet times in my work, a common one was to get it, like scrounge up every possible element of blue tack you could find in the shop and put as many pins as you possibly could.
Yes.
And just launch it at each other mid conversation. Yep. If you can shrug that off, you're doing pretty well.
One of the games we played many years ago. It started when we did a midnight trade. We're open till all hours for around Christmas period. And it was 3 a.m, we were just absolutely cooked, had nothing left, and we were so bored, but we had to keep ourselves awake. And so we came up with this game, which was where you would sit opposite each other on the ground. Young men in this particular role, so Bunny, you'd probably be a gun at this. And you would have a water bottle that was about half full, and the idea was you would spread your legs, and the other person would throw the water bottle, but you had to do it in a looping arc. Right, so you go like this.
So this is like ground level bottle tossing phenomena that was like.
Yeah, and so if you moved when someone was launching that at your nether regions, they got to grab the bottle back and peg it at your nuts, as hard as they could. And you're about probably 2 meters apart, so it's not an easy throw with a water bottle, an object you're probably not familiar with launching at people. But mate, we gave it a red hot crack, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, good.
Wampa, it sort of does have the greenish tinge on the inside, and I'll tell you why it doesn't have it on this side, because this is a side I don't give a fucking fuck about, because it's at the back and no one's going to look at it, son. So, get some of that up ya.
That's the Deno 101.
That's the rules of being faster as a painter. Just don't paint shit that doesn't matter. Relevance. Relevance is everything. No, actually, I am going to probably go back and do that, but it's going to be a colder perspective from that side, so there's going to be a lot of blues. Yeah, sorry, mate. I do go a little bit heavy on that sometimes. My apologies.
Boop. Boop. Take a photo.
You still working on that purple guy?
Mate, he was just a 1 day thing.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I know. That's all right. I didn't expect you to, mate.
Good.
You're not my gallery, mate.
That's what I've been saying for months.
No. To be honest, if you want to know where the idea came from,
was it me?
It was AP Miniatures.
What a guy.
Your banner. The Makato, I think it was the Oni, the red Oni that he did. I was like, you know what, this could be a bit of fun to do.
Nice drop shadow, really vibrant orange. Yeah, that was good. That was a good piece.
Yeah, just try to figure it out. Not everyone is a banger.
Yeah,
but that's going to happen when you paint every day.
You know what's annoying though, mate, is the ones that aren't bangers so often happen after the ones that are bangers. When you sit.
Oh, you can never. If you know the way. If you know the way to drop 2 great pieces in a row, fill me in.
Yeah.
Anyone in the chat know the way? Because I really would like to know.
Because you launch yourself on one, and I was like, this is it. He's cooked it. He's got it. He's all over this, like Big Deno on a cream bun. And then you throw out that purple thing, and I'm like, well, I can stop watching this fucking clown again. Got nothing going on.
Look, listen, mate. I've got a nice one that I'm cooking up right now, I think. So. The trick is, we were talking about this the other day, is you just gotta. It's like you've made a deal, deal with the devil, mate. You just gotta pay him. So just grab something shit off the shelf, give it a whirl, pay him off, and get ready for the glory on the next one.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought rip tights were a good idea.
Let me find my phone.
Grey clouds roll over the hills. Alright, let's do some non-metallic metal. Yeah! Love this shit. It's my favourite thing to paint at the moment. I just love doing it. So much fun.
My favourite at the moment is the like really detailed fur texture.
I just did some of that.
It's so relaxing.
It can be, yeah.
Oh,
Hey, Jim.
It is Ben X Layton chatting, yes, Space Toy. It is indeed. From the very famous Dirty Paint Water In Discord group, of which I am a moderator and part owner.
Hello, Space Toy. Did you say part owner?
What?
Oh, I'll go get Lando.
Lando.
I just heard someone say it's Lando then.
Lando. Alright, let's have a think about this by putting this guy down here. No one's going to be able to see this, but...
Oh, it's so cute.
Lando.
He's a good boy.
Where is he?
He's on here.
Ah, little boy.
He's so cute. He just birthed. Yeah, it's something disgusting.
I had Hugo on my stream the other day. He stole the show.
Is he down by your lap in that little bed that you had him in last time?
He was.
You could set up a Hugo cam next time.
Yeah, that's what you need to get. A second webcam just for Hugo.
I've got fucking 6 webcams in my house, mate. I could set one up.
Mate. Well, wait, okay, you got 6 webcam. Where the fuck's all your angles, huh?
I don't need angles, mate. I focus on my painting. I don't need flashy tricks to make people think I'm good.
I reckon they're all focused in one direction, all these cameras, and I'll give you one fucking idea where that is.
Just different angles of the aesthetic of Big Dad. No, Hugo can't paint for shit, mate. He doesn't have the patience. He's always just going hammer and tong at something.
Yeah, Lando's been quite turbulent in the last few days, and we don't know why.
No, it's because there was 2 flies in the house.
2 flies.
And then a fucking possum. He's just like losing his mind.
Well,
Hates flies.
this is one of the best types of surfaces you can paint with non-metallic metal. An easy one. This should be straightforward.
Can I put you down now?
I'd like to live, thanks, Mum.
I don't know, he's quite comfy.
Yeah, he's a lapdog.
Don't put me
He's
down,
like,
Mum.
no, I've got my throne. I'm
Yeah,
set.
that's exactly it. Like, if you don't put him down, he's like, oh, this is my new home? Alright, sweet.
There you go.
We got a figure to look at on stream, have we? Here we go. Rock and roll.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah. In other words, it sucks. Road girl anatomical, eh?
Yeah.
Would you like some feedback?
What are you going to tell me? Will I like it? Do I need it?
No one ever likes my feedback, mate.
Go for it.
Is this another drop shadow attempt?
Yeah. Do you want the shadow side? You can have the shadow side as well.
No, I don't care enough, mate. It's not good enough for me to want to see other angles.
Feel free to zoom it. You'll see some texture there, mate. If you.
I do see the texture. I feel the texture is distracting a little. Just could be a little bit, just a tiny bit more refined. I think the volumes in the face are wrong. Like when I look at it, I don't feel like you've got enough light, particularly on this flap of skin here, whatever that fuck is called. That should be a light, like the whole thing, based on the direction of your light, and you've just edged that lip. Tricky though, because you don't want that line that goes here to be too strong, or then it doesn't look like a female face. It looks like an old female face or a male face. So.
Why the side on one I think is a better photo as well.
All right. Well, I'm not.
I think I'm not sure.
Yep, it is. Yeah, I still probably think you could go a little more light on that volume, and this little part of the nose, this little fucker, whatever that's called, that needs more light as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so. I'm just teasing you, mate. It's good, but I just look at the face and I don't feel like it reads like a one piece, you know.
Yeah, it's still probably fragmented a little bit.
Yeah. And that's really the absolute crucial element of female faces is they are very, very soft. Still can have texture, as Bunny demonstrates regularly, but they feel a lot softer. That feels very harsh. Still.
Yeah.
Anyway, you'll be fine, mate. Just it's better than your last fucking attempt, anyway.
The grape, we call him, mate. He's the grape.
He's
Dr.
not
Mundo.
That bust is from Road Girl from the Journeyman Miniatures. Thank you. And Bunny's Instagram handle she will post in the chat for you momentarily. Honey Bunny something.
It's Ben X Layton. If you Google it, if you get that on the screen. Who's here? Oh, Moleman. Moleman, we're on stream just so you don't say anything. Yeah, and Deno's here too, just so you don't say anything mean about him while he's here.
Say whatever you want, Moleman.
I'm my best. I'll try my best. I can't guarantee it.
You can say whatever you want about me, mate. I will.
He's got thick skin, he can take it.
You call me fat? Love you, mate.
Just
Love you,
think. That worked two ways.
My sleeve and my wet pellet.
Oh, I did that before and it's white, so it's real good.
Oh, you mean, look at this.
Oh yeah, good one.
Whatever.
I wasn't planning on painting much of this guy on stream because I can't hold him and get him in shot well.
Yeah, it's one of those figures.
So I want to be like right in here, but I can't quite get that in shot, so that's okay, I suppose. That's a bit better.
Oh, yeah.
I was watching a video by I think it was Emil from Squidmar Miniatures the other night.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then I just think to myself, that's a fucking colour I've really got to crack out and use more, hey? And it wasn't actually him that was painting, it was some other chumbo. And he used light flesh from Vallejo.
I use that all the time.
Yeah, and I think to myself, fuck, I've really got to use light flesh more. I don't use it enough.
Yeah.
Really good colour, like
Yeah.
pinkish, high value colour that for some reason works really well as like a highlight for metals and a highlight for other stuff. Female bust, Knight, with non-metallic metal. Are you asking that of me or are you asking that of Bunny?
Mine aren't wearing any metal. My busts generally don't wear clothes.
Ah, yes, spot on. That is correct. That is correct, Space Toy. That is exactly the video. Do you ever think that when you're watching a video and you're like, yeah, fuck, I'm going to use that colour more often?
Yeah, I do quite often, and then I never use it because I forget it about 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
And then it's not till you see it again and someone else, or some other piece is like, fuck, that's such a good colour combo, why don't I do that? And then you're just like, oh, fuck, brown's a sick colour, and you get back to just painting everything brown.
That sums up your painting in a nutshell, really.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that's just a you problem, Ben.
Yeah, look, well, you know what? I'll be the best brown painter out there.
I agree with you, Space Tour. Very much so.
Benny, I think that what you need to do is do a piece that's completely brown
Get it out of your system.
on a backdrop with white OSL and show everyone how it's fucking done.
Mate, you wait till you see the white OSL piece I got cooking up.
Woo! The brown note, it will be called.
It's going to be...
In the darkness, there's always light. In the brownness, there's always light.
The piece is going to be so good, anyone that looks at it will shit themselves.
Yeah.
To give people in the chat some context here, Ben recently painted a figure with white OSL and it was dog shit.
Recently is
That was a
not
while
the word
back,
I would
yeah.
use for that.
Yeah.
I would definitely
I've
use
been
the term
7
recently.
different ends by this point. Fuck.
Yeah.
Let me scroll back.
I would definitely say recently, mate. Anything that falls within the last 2 years is recently in my books.
What?
Yeah.
I've only been painting display for 2 years.
Well,
Bro.
there you go, son. It was recent, wasn't it?
She was the 3rd of May, and I still am quite fond of that piece.
That's why it's gonna be May. It was
It's all about
terrible.
Context.
It was terrible.
Then it's all about context, mate. Your display pieces recently is like the yellow pages thick, whereas like most people it's a couple of sheets of paper. So, you know, like,
Two.
Wait. It's the Australian way, mate. Just pump it out.
Pump it.
That's what we have over every other painter.
Damn, pump the jam. Pump it up.
Get stuff done. DSD it.
I got a Dune piece that I'm very keen to do, but I want to wait till I watch the film before I start it.
Some of my very good friends watched it and said it was baller.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Andy and I have been talking about watching it before in the cinemas, but oh man, I'm very keen. Very keen.
Where my orange at? There you are.
I just wish I could get more busts themed around all the shit I love.
You know what is another way you could approach that?
Make your own.
Well,
No,
what
he
I
was
was
going
going
to
to
say
say.
love more things. or something like
Yes,
that.
like Marvel.
Yeah.
Get in.
Knew it. I knew it. He's going to say something stupid. Like, you know, get more things that you like. There's only room for Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. Actually, that's not true. That's not
And
true.
gnomes.
Oh, fuck, I love a good gnome.
And D&D.
And
And
yeah,
aliens.
I'm going through a bit of a D&D fantasy kick right now, and it's fucking hot.
Well, let's go.
Dano, I've got to ask you a question, very serious question.
Okay, mate. I'm always willing and available.
So, this question, what's the next book I should read in this Dritz series stuff?
Oh, so you finished
Finished the Crystal Shard,
Crystal Shard,
the,
Streams of Silver, and the Halfling's Gem. I believe the next one is called Legacy,
Legacy.
Starless
Is it-
Night, Siege of Darkness, Passage to Dawn is the order of the next 4, I believe.
Okay.
Someone
Okay.
will correct
Good
me
stuff.
if I'm wrong, no doubt. But that is called the Dark something trilogy,
Yeah.
and it chronicles the story of our brave companions and an incursion from deep beneath Mithril Hall from
Ooh.
Driss's people.
The Underdark. Nice.
The other option you could have is you could go back and read Drizzt's
The prequel stuff
yeah,
I
the
saw, I
prequels.
think.
Yeah, that one's called the Dark Elf Trilogy, and that one talks about Drizzt's how he became a ranger of Maliki,
Yeah.
and decided that being a Dark Elf wasn't all about killing and rapine and murdering and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know who the greatest Dark Elf is of all time?
Are you going to say Jarlaxle?
I'm going to say Malice Darkblade.
Mm.
He's the greatest Dark Elf of
I
all
don't
time.
even know who that is.
Mate. He's Dan Abnett's elf.
Dan who?
Dan Abnett.
How dare
I
you,
knew
man?
that.
Sometimes you say things and I just think, I don't want to be friends with you anymore.
I'm shocked we were friends. You just talk shit on me all the time.
Good point. Dan Abnett was a great author.
this-
He wrote some fantastic books, but one that sticks with me still to this day is the one he wrote about Kislev. Do you remember that one? Bucks?
Riders of the Dead, it is called, and it is a fantastic.
It is a fucking banger. I still remember that book. That is an awesome book.
Yep, the two fledgling handgunners who get separated in their first battle.
That's it.
One of noble ilk and one not, and one ends up in the Chaos Pits fighting, and the other one ascends through the ranks of Kislev as they're both forgotten and left in the wastes after the battle.
Indeed. Good book. Dan Abnett at his best, I believe. Was Dan Abnett, wasn't it? I have remembered that correctly.
It was, you have remembered that correctly, that is.
It's unusual for me to not be.
Yes, Chris P. Minis, I don't know anyone.
He's a very simple man.
I've only just recently, in the last 12 months,
Learned to read.
Well, I should probably read some fantasy books.
Learn
So
to
it's a
read.
whole new world.
Celery, that base colour, so this colour here is actually a mixture of signal blue and black. I wanted a rich blue. Then I've mixed in fallen grass, which is a greeny colour from the whatever that, yeah,
The
the
Pazarski
Pazarski set. And now I'm about to just muscle that up and add some fucking orange.
Yeah, that is true. I do get to experience lots of cool things for the first time. The only problem is, I don't like doing it a lot because of my personality. I'm very obsessive. And when I find something that I slightly get the tickle of, I have to. Andy talks about this great with me all the
Consume
time.
it.
I have to, yeah, and I have to interface with it more than just the book. Like, and that's why, like, Lord of the Rings and Star Wars has been great because it's like, whoa, there's a fuckload of Star Wars minis and a fuckload of Lord of the Rings minis I can paint, and then I get real into this Icewind Dale trilogy, and I'm like,
Oh, there's fucking plenty of those bad boys.
and I just go, oh, I'm depressed.
Yeah,
Oh
if
my.
I can't interact with things on a in the medium that I choose, which is miniature painting, and I think Ben's the same at this point.
Oh yeah,
It leaves a big empty hole that
It
can't be
does.
filled, and it's really
everything
it's not a
else
nice feeling.
sucks. Everything sucks. You're just like, fuck, I hate this guy. This project's dog. And then, oh god, it's the worst.
To answer your question, Chris P, I think the Pazarski set is actually the best of the Chimera sets, just in terms of how well it guides you into his approach. Definitely, would you agree with that, Bucks?
Team Stonebeard would slap a big OK on the OK hand symbol on the Pazarski Chimera. It's absolutely fantastic.
I like it a lot. I do think when I've used it, sometimes I've gotten a little bit too much into his style. Like literally it's changed my style that much that I start looking like I'm painting Michael Pazarski medals. Which is a good or bad thing depending on your perspective. For me, I don't want to necessarily paint the way that he does everything I do. But I do highly recommend that set.
Can I get your opinion, Deno? Because just to back up what fucking Andy B just said, can confirm Fallen Grass, amazing tone, especially for mixing with yellows and things. It just, the color it can produce is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a very, very good paint set.
Look, if you he did a YouTube video tutorial, which I'm sure if you were so inclined, you could find a copy of it, or you could go and purchase it for yourself. Where he goes into detail and he shows each of his step-by-step process. But even in the friggin' pack itself, he's got his process in there. And g'day MK Finder. No, the paint set's only like for you 30 quid maybe.
Yeah, and I think depending on skill set, even the brief guide that's in there is
correct. Yeah, exactly what I was going to say.
Decent enough.
That guide that comes in there is enough to really change the way you think about things. But caveat. Non-metallic metal is all about technique. It's all about placement of light. And if you go into that not really understanding that, you will struggle. So you should be fine. Chris P, you should be fine.
Chris P's got mad stuff.
He does.
Cracked paint's female face. First one, so
Was that your first female?
yes.
Oh. Well,
Not Alyssa, which was a
yeah,
big
that doesn't
while.
count. That doesn't count. I'll cut you some slack there then, because it is a different skill to normal male faces.
Taking what you said and running with it.
Sergio did a fantastic video on painting female faces. I wonder if that's on YouTube. See if I can track it down for you, mate.
I'm trying to get loaded up for when Bunny lays out a group challenge for us. I'm trying to get into space right now.
She reckons she's going to pick a female bust.
Oh, if I was throwing a guess at it, I reckon she might.
Sign me the
You like
fuck up.
titties, boys?
Yeah,
Sign me up.
Because it's all I paint.
I do. I was thinking I should really get into more painting challenges and stuff that you guys would do, and then I think, no, that's not my jam. I don't want to steal all your prizes.
Fun fact, I don't have prizes.
Yeah, the prize is respect, which you've got a lot to get.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Overall Star Wars champion of the champion in 2000. What was it? 2021.
Listen, I am.
I have a few words to throw in here.
I am the PAX.
I'm up the top here, mate.
PAX
Alright.
2019
cup.
Speed Painting Champion.
He says that and still can't win a painting challenge.
Excuse me. Let me just.
Yeah, hang on. I'll go find those
Let me
two
just
that
get
you
my
can't
paint
get.
tape, awesome paint job pack
Yeah.
Australian Saturday.
That's
award
the
up
I've
here
got
from.
two of those ones. I've got two.
That's the award they give to the
We
people.
just
who
throw it
are-
over. Just keep that up there for sure.
Benny, don't
Humble
listen to the
beginnings
haters,
and all
mate.
that, eh? Humble
Thank
beginnings
you,
and all that.
thank you, Jim.
Don't listen to them haters, mate. You hold that title for a whole year, right? You got that.
Listen,
Trophy's in the cabinet for a year.
listen, I was very upset. COVID ruined my hat trick big time.
No one
So,
takes that away from me, mate.
Repeat.
Yeah, I was going to have a rack of these little speed painting champion things. It was going to be great.
You know what ruined my chance at winning Model of the Year at Queensland Model Hobby Expo for the third year in a row?
What?
I'm gonna guess didn't have enough tanks in it, or
No, just the fact that I wasn't good enough. But it was a good humbling lesson for me.
yeah. That's
I
good.
often
I
need
think
that.
You need some of that.
That would be
More
interesting.
tanks is always a good thing, though.
I don't think I've done a green underpainting of the skin tone for a while at least. Technically, I did one on the piece I just painted tonight, so go me.
It's actually looking pretty good. I liked it.
What, this guy or the wizard?
No, this guy.
Right, this guy's going on.
Yeah, the texture of the skin of that is really nice. I like that.
I might have another look at the wizard because I don't reckon he was that bad.
Wait, what wizard?
This wizard that I started painting tonight.
Oh, the
The three-armed bandit, man.
yeah, the
He's
hunchback.
fucking alright,
I just
man.
call him. He just reminds me of Gul'dan from World of Warcraft.
He does look a little bit like that. He's actually coming out alright. I reckon he could be okay. We'll do some tweaking with bits and pieces. He'll come out fine.
You're just being hard on yourself, mate.
I am. You're right.
You gotta relax a little.
Gotta relax. Just calm down, you know. Calm your farm.
Just paint some Star Wars minis. Just relax. Just fucking have a great time.
Star Wars minis. I don't know that I've ever painted a Star Wars mini actually.
Yeah, you see, it's basically historical.
Well, it does say a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yep.
I might try that and try and enter some Star Wars stuff in historical category and see how that goes.
Oh, it is historical.
I want to do that with Lord of the Rings because that's all historical. Middle Earth's real. You can go to New Zealand and see it.
I think would really tie in as well, doing the Star Wars thing for the historicals. They love a good plaque.
They do
Oh,
love a
yeah.
plaque.
You could definitely put that in intro.
The whole,
Yeah. Maybe not the whole scroll, but
Nah,
like,
I reckon you put the
first-
whole thing. Who else has done that? That's next level.
It was a dark time for the Federation.
Yeah, you have the biggest plaque there.
Oh yeah, love me some cool shiny metal bits. This type of surface is a fucking banger to paint in non-metallic metal. Get amongst this. I'm telling you, this is the guy.
These angled edge ones.
Look at this. This is like
Yeah.
orky,
Yeah.
orky shapes. It fucking feels so good.
Yeah, they are really good to paint. They are good.
Hey, all right. I need a history lesson here from you, Benny, and/or Bunny, and/or Bucks about Star Wars. So, full disclosure, I've not watched The Mandalorian,
Oh,
and that's not
yeah.
because
All right, I'm over the
He's
paint.
done. That's it. You've lost it. That's it. He's
not because I'm not interested in it. I am.
Oh my god.
Well, Andy's left the chat.
Well, see you, mate.
Has he left? Has he?
He's left. Yeah, we've upset that.
Fair
much.
enough. Fair
I
play.
hovered over the button too, to be
Yeah,
honest.
fair play. So I've never watched
Risky
it.
words.
I've never watched it. I'd like to watch it, but two things have held me back. One, the first episode didn't grab me. I wasn't at all impressed with the first episode. I did watch the first episode. There was a robot in it, and there's the baby, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the Mandalorian as a character because he never takes off his head and you don't get to see Pedro Pascal, the fucking specimen.
Okay.
I know there's a
Just
reason
go,
behind that.
Go past like 5 episodes and you'll be right, mate.
All right.
Mate, listen. The helmet
I
is
know.
the reason you watch that fucking show.
No,
Okay.
that's not the case.
Those helmets, if I could replace my face with anything, it would be that helmet.
All right, so here's my question. Now, one thing that I was unable to avoid in the world was the eventual fucking release of episode 13, The Jedi, season 2. So if you're not up to speed with that and you would like to disappear from the chat for a bit, feel free. I've not watched it, but it's impossible to miss. I've watched reaction videos of said episode of people watching that, and I myself have cried.
Yeah.
Like, actually cried at
Yeah.
seeing a reaction
You're
video.
willing, you're willing to watch people watch The Mandalorian, but as for you watching The Mandalorian, that's a hard no.
I never said it was a hard no, alright? I
You're
just
a
said...
complex man, Deno.
See
You're
his
a
face,
complex
Toy.
man.
Thank you. I never said it was a hard no. But, okay, so I've got a question coming from this in a second.
Yeah.
In a second.
Yeah.
So I have to say that is one of the most great movie experiences for me. You may feel differently than I do, Benny, about this. Was The Last Jedi when I went to see it at the cinemas.
No, I love that film.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
I
it's
got to
good,
see
right?
Luke Skywalker on the screen for the first time in about, 30 years, or however many it was.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
was everything I'd ever hoped and dreamed. Many people didn't feel the same way, but
Yeah.
I liked it.
That's right, those people are wrong. We
Yeah,
don't.
I'm not a die-hard Star Wars nut, right? So, like you are.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was some gaping plot holes in that film, though, I've got to say. But, so, I've absolutely fucking loved the shit out of Luke Skywalker. Absolutely fucking cry my eyes out. I walked out of the cinema seeing The Last Jedi crying. I'm enthusiastic about The Mandalorian and seeing this scene and all that, right? Here's my question. In that fucking... G'day, Iced Fishing. Thanks, mate. In that episode, it's got Cara Thrace from Battlestar Galactica, who looks banger, by the way. And she's trying to get a fucking sword from some other guy who's like another dude, right? And this is my question. I've never watched any of the cartoons, Rebels, or any of these, and I know that those particular characters, Bo-Katan and the Darksaber and whatever that guy is, Moff or something, those... there you go. Those are all people from that. How much do I need, knowledge-wise, from those other shows to enjoy that experience?
Nothing.
No.
Like,
Gideon Moff is a Mandalorian character, and Bo-Katan...
Bo-Katan is my girl. I fucking froth and adore her with like every fibre of my body, but
This
in
is
the live action though, you don't need to know much
Yeah,
about
this
her.
is what I say. It's like a Marvel movie, right? You go in, you enjoy the film, but you didn't have to read 60 years of comics to kind of get what's going on.
They sort of give you the rundown.
Yeah.
Are you a Bill Burr fan?
Is that directed at me? Let me just answer you, Iced Fishing. I did. Here is the barbarian from the top. Here is the wizard from the bottom left. Here is the rider of the thing, and this is the other thing that I'm working on now. So yes, I have made some progress. And to answer you, Celery, the digital release of Gloomhaven just came out and added the campaign. So now's a fantastic time. It is a magnificent port. I would recommend it 10 out of 10 times. Get amongst it. Proceed with your conversation, good friends.
Are you a Bill Burr fan?
I'm not familiar with who that is.
Okay, he's just a comedian, American comedian. He pops up in The Mandalorian. I think he has a really, really cool short story arc inside it that's pretty good.
So
Plays a scout trooper.
do I need to have knowledge of the other Star Wars IPs to
No.
enjoy it?
No.
That is the thing that was holding me back, because so many of my friends have watched all of the Star Wars and talk about, fuck, it's so awesome that XYZ's fucking in The Mandalorian and they do some cool shit and blah blah blah, and I found myself not wanting to watch it because I didn't have that level of knowledge, and I was like, I'm going to be missing half the story.
No, you don't need it. It's just like bonus little treats.
Yeah, like when I
Because isn't
found out that
Ahsoka in it as
Bo-Katan
well?
was- Who?
Ahsoka?
Ahsoka. Yeah.
Oh,
She gets her own spin-off soon.
Yeah, Rosario
But,
Dawson.
With Bo-Katan, I was one of those people who was super fucking excited to see her, and it was just like I was just excited to see her.
Mm.
For me it was like a solid, like, she's canon, she's here.
Anytime I get an opportunity to see Cara Thrace, I'm all in, so...
How good is Starbuck?
Oh,
Hey? How
Starbuck.
good is she?
What a legend.
yeah. Look, I reckon give it a go. And every time you see little baby Yoda, just think of Hugo, and then that episode 13, season 2 at the end of that will hit you even harder.
Yeah. Look,
And it's the best.
I'm already fucking crying at that episode and I haven't watched it, so I think I'm in massive trouble.
Oh, dude,
Oh, you
it's
are
so
in
good.
huge trouble if that's the part you cried over.
Yeah, it's so good. Fuck.
even
it's-
even I started the Mandalorian with Ben. I couldn't give two shits about Mandalorians. Mandalorians are Ben's things, aliens are my things. And I got immediately attached to Grogu. Like immediately attached to Baby Yoda. And then so I'm not a Luke fangirl. I personally do not like the dude. So I didn't cry at that part in the final episode, but there was another part that absolutely fucking wrecked me.
He's the perfect. Grogu is like the perfect.
Is it-
right? The
is it
perfect
when- is it when-
merchandising organism?
Is it
Oh,
when
yeah.
Pedro?
How much
The
I
exporter
own.
of merch.
Is it when Pedro Pascal removed his helmet to talk to Grogu?
Oh,
Yeah.
and he, that absolutely fucking ripped me a new one.
So
I mean, for an orphan floating around in the galaxy, he's got two pretty great mates, doesn't he? When you think about it, he's come out pretty milkhouse.
he's
really.
going right. Yeah. He's great. And tell me, this is probably something that comes into the fucking story. Is he literally like a Yoda from the same species as Yoda, and he's his
Same
young
species,
version?
yeah.
Yeah.
Same
Okay.
species, yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Same species, but he's a baby at 50.
Hey, you know how you said you liked old Luke, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I'm gonna link you a video after this. It's just God, it's the best. Oh,
I
you're
just,
gonna
man, I went to saw that at cinema. So I was an original, like I went to see the prequels at the cinema,
Yeah.
a midnight
Mm.
screening, like just frothed it,
yeah.
got dressed up for it, had a great time. Star Wars has been a huge. I used to go and rent the original Star Wars VHS tapes from the library. That was how
Yeah.
much of it. Yeah, that was how much of a nuffy I was for it. So I was all about it. And when the Force Awakens came out, I was very, very concerned because I was like, man, those prequels were not fucking good films. Which is actually something I've come around a bit on, because I think they weren't good films when you compare them to current filmmaking and so forth. But what they were was really good way of introducing Star Wars to a younger audience.
Yes, I agree.
And so in that sense, I think they achieved their goal of creating a multi-bajillion-dollar Star Wars merchandising capability. Anyway, so Force Awakens came out. I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm that excited to see it. I booked my tickets. It was on opening night, but it wasn't a midnight screening. It was just like a normal afternoon session. Went and saw it. Lost my fucking shit at Han Solo and fucking and just like, oh, this is fucking so good. Oh, fucking Han Solo's the man. And fucking Kylo Ren's so fucking sick. Oh, I fucking love Star Wars. And then at the end of it, Rey's like, fucking Luke. Oh, it's the fucking best.
Yeah.
But there was some dumb, like Maz Kanata or whatever her name was. Who the fuck was she? I don't know anything about her. Is she from one of the TV shows as well?
No, that was
No, she was
JJ's. That was JJ's fucking teacher. That's who that was.
All right.
He literally did a homage to one of his old teachers, and that was her character.
She was cute. I liked her.
Yeah. Anyway, Sylv. Thanks, Sylv459. Let me show you some of my other cool shit that I've done. I've actually got a good one sitting here. Here you go.
Crusader, get him out.
No.
Let's go.
Boom! No Crusader. Fuck the Crusader. This guy's just sitting here. Yeah.
He's like, Arista looks like a Crusader to me. He looks like he gets around town telling people the good word.
I will definitely watch The Mandalorian. It's not I'm not going to watch it. It's just it hasn't been something that I've been desperate to watch. So
You know how Andy told you to watch some show about pirates?
Yeah.
Put that on the back shelf.
Hey. Listen,
thanks Axiomanda for the following.
Black Sails needs to get a run in,
Yeah, Black Sails is coming up.
and then Mando.
I didn't change the Orc's head. No, it was the same head. Just was probably not as visible. Sylv459, how do I do this? It's a great question. The answer is years of practice, and anyone can do it. Captain Carp, welcome to the stream. Anyone can do it if you're willing to dedicate the time. I do have a lot of super fast techniques. I don't have a Patreon, so I can't plug that. So just come and hang out here if you want. I'm pretty bad at self-promotion, actually.
You are.
You get that Nightbot going, just bang.
Fuck, I should get Nightbot back. I'm paying
Yeah.
I'm paying
You
15
paying,
bucks
what
a
are you
fucking.
paying Flick for?
Yeah,
Nothing.
I'm paying 15 bucks a month for Flick to
Oh,
for his
he's
bot.
saying you're right. I'm
No,
calling
it's
it
it's
now.
it's my fault because I've just got to do one thing to fix it and I haven't done it because every time he's like, oh, we've got to get on and fix it. I'm like, yeah, man, let's do it tonight. And then I just fucking start painting. It's
Yeah,
like,
and that's it. You're done.
see you, pal. Party Monday. I haven't had a beer on Party Monday for a few months now. Would you believe?
Mate, you've joined the straight edge gang.
I just haven't felt
Well-
like having a beer. Been trying to lose some keggers.
I'd enjoy one this weekend, being that we're
Out of lockdown.
out of lockdown.
Oh,
Quite an
Oh.
emotional week, really. It's been 3 months shackled to the table, having a good time with these lovely people.
You looking forward to going back?
No, I'd rather just stay at my table and paint every day.
How does your world change actually? Like, does it feel different now going to work and being
Yeah, it really does.
new
Yeah.
friends, new people you talk to regularly, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
that changes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm anxious as hell to open because I haven't had to deal with customers for like 3 months. My doors have been closed. I've been at work, but my doors have just been closed. And the first night they're doing till midnight, so midnight trade. That's going to be fun.
Yep.
Can't
They're
wait
doing
to
it on
ruin.
Friday.
Play that water bottle game,
Oh,
bud.
wow. Of course they are.
Play the water bottle game.
play a bit of water bottle.
Play a bit of water bottle. Lob it at your co-workers'
Spike some tack
nutsacks.
ball.
I'll save that for Christmas Eve when we're there till like 4 a.m.
Yeah, I got to go to work with this mole man guy. I don't know if I'm going to get on, to be honest.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do it.
No, I didn't finish the previous guy, Alex. I got a little bit frustrated with painting the boring guy, so I decided to kick on with this guy, who I'm a little bit more interested in. Yeah.
That's the model that you're painting right now that nearly got me to go on that Kickstarter.
You'll regret not going on the Kickstarter because you could have got those 2 busts.
Nah, you know what? I don't think I will.
I talked about this earlier in the stream, Alex, but I think when you're working on a project of this scale, being excited about painting something is a crucial part. There'll be times when you're excited about painting an element. There'll be times when you're like, this is fucked.
Yeah.
Mix it up. Mix that bad boy up.
Yeah, it is like cutting out this little niche for yourself, aren't you?
Yeah. Colo
like
reckons it is my niche. He reckons this is your jam.
Yeah, I do
Well,
too.
I think it is, and I think combined with your style, because I think you're a bit of a style man. I think you've got 2 things going on there.
And the third being that I'm extremely good looking.
It's extremely good looking. You know, like Sergio Calvo, like
He is a specimen, actually.
kind of looks like you a bit, but like more Spanish
Yeah, and also shorter.
and also shorter. But I mean, everyone's shorter, right? Like,
I'm yet to meet a miniature painter as taller than me, but I did meet a fucking Swedish War Machine player who made me look like a fucking midget. Big Torbjorn was his name. Fucking superstar. He was very good actually in the Swedish team. See you, Sylv. Have a champion time wherever you are. Alright, I am enthusiastic about this green dude who I wasn't even a little bit interested in painting, and now it's probably become one of the coolest experiences I've had painting a big figure.
And this guy right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
I
know.
thought
Oh.
you were into him before, but you weren't.
Oh.
You weren't when you started.
You know what I think it was? I was fucking nervous about the size of it.
Yeah, it happens.
when those things creep in, those shadows of doubt creep in. Ugh. Still
Sylv,
conquer them though.
Sylv, you don't have to apologise, mate. You can leave whenever you want. There's no obligation. Don't even have to say goodbye. You can just fucking disappear if you want. I won't hold it against you. Well, the fur is one of the Deno trademarks of how to make fur look good.
Yeah.
Because I did that this afternoon before I got on stream. All of it.
All about the brushstrokes, isn't
It's
it?
all about brushstrokes, mate. It's all about brushstrokes. But
I continue to make poor choices when picking fur. It's becoming a trademark of mine.
but I also think the airbrush does a wonder for making your brushstroke look better. You saw me do it with hair the other night, and I remember you going, "Well, fuck me, I didn't expect that to happen." Well, yes, it's exactly the same with fur. When you do an airbrush, just to unify and homogenise everything, it can actually make everything look spot on. But actually, the best thing I'm going to do, or the best thing I should do right now, is actually just tweak some of these upper elements, because this is just needs a few more highlights in this upper area. It's going to make it look baller. Which fur bust are you doing? Vercingetorix, Chris P? I got that set, the triples. Yeah, beautiful, great figure. That might be what I'll do after this, actually. A nice relaxing 3 bust piece where I combine 3 busts on a base. Just something light after a 5-figure diorama.
Is the dog part of one of the busts?
The dog's the limited edition pre-release bit.
Okay.
I try to find the words to describe this girl without being disrespectful.
It's an oldie.
She's nothing like them girls you've ever seen before.
Know any Ricky Martin songs, Dana?
1, 2, 3, ale, ale, ale! Oh, tom, tom, ale, ale, ale! The cup of life, ale, ale, ale! That's all I got.
What About Me has been a lovely 2021 soundtrack, but we're going to need to roll in the new year with a new banger, one that we can really sink our teeth into. So, if the chat's got any suggestions,
G'day VPC.
What about me too? That was a bit nefarious on my end as well, because I wanted him to just think about that song while he was at work. So that's why I just say there. I just want him to be sitting there and he's just like, fuck, and I just wanted that moment.
there was alternate means.
But the worst part was it backfired and ended up being me doing that.
Yeah, and I was just enjoying singing it. It isn't fair. Why have enough? I want my share, can't you see?
I think Nosey got more than his share in the end, eh?
You just take more, you just
Have you
take
seen-
more.
I think he was a bit of a road warrior, eh?
Oh, man,
I think he loved to get on it.
Have you seen the Facebook comments
Yeah,
that he gets involved in?
Absolutely.
Love it.
Oh, it's
Absolutely.
fucking gold.
Love it. We were chatting about it at games night the other night. Fucking hell. We're just reading something out. Cracker.
It's so funny.
On your Nalsy, you fucking banger. I don't reckon rich people do enough of that shit, like, just be loose cannons, eh?
No.
If
You don't reckon?
Nah, well, I suppose, I don't know enough. Sometimes they go a little bit overboard, I suppose, but... Yeah.
I reckon Nosey's probably got a small army of children around Australia from all the shows, all the pubs that he's visited.
Yeah. Fair. couple of little babies with soul patches kicking around. Like,
Yeah, just literally standing on the corner, little.
Good talks, good talks.
Yeah, that was nice. That one, wasn't it? Why was that one in?
Yeah, one of your best.
Mm. There's nothing I like more than when I look up and I see 5, 6 heads down just slapping the brush.
Oh, I was going to say, man, you better finish that sentence real quick.
Wrong brush.
Look, it's a metaphorical brush, old man.
I was gonna say, mate, have you
Working the same
been
brain.
on the internet? Have you seen pornography? Like I quite like that.
I would have never have guessed.
What we need is more purple around this mouth. We need some fucking volupus pink in and around this bad boy.
Oh, here it comes.
Oh, it's been like 20 minutes since I've done some airbrushing, so I'm feeling the itch. Feeling the fucking itch. Let's get some volupus pink happening. Guilty.
Bit of volupus pink, bit of snakebite leather.
Bit of wine red.
Bit of wine red, eh? Get amongst it.
Deno trademarks right there. Fucking guilty.
And you know what? For dessert, we'll wash it down with some ocean blue. Beautiful.
Very excited to get some of these AK paints.
There was another one recently that's been creeping up in my favourites. AK's Saddle Brown, very fond of.
Ooh, Saddle Brown. I'm not sure if I got that one.
Quite fond of AK's Orange Brown. It's got a little bit more, gumption than
Orange brown is
the one.
something I think I need to use more. I had this favourite colour from Scale 75, which is called Orange Leather.
Oh,
Fuck,
it's so good.
Fuck, it's a good colour.
It is. I use it on everything.
But
I believe I need to acquire a little peanut butter.
Oh,
I've been
peanut
doing
butter
around
is
the
peanut butter is all time. Like that is a ball tear of a paint right there.
That's the Frank Frazetta special, isn't it? You're
It
going to need it
is.
if you're going to be doing muscly dudes.
Yeah, I've got deep brown, but I think I need to get orange brown because I've been struggling to find a good replacement for orange leather from Scale. This guy dead set looks like Battle Cat. I didn't really mean for that to happen, but I'm actually really okay with it.
And one last one.
Yeah.
Red beige, or beige red.
Beige
from
red.
AK.
Mm.
Very nice.
No, they still manufacture it, mate. I find the absolute matness of Scale paints off-putting these days. I very rarely use them. I'm not sure why,
I was
because
going to ask why, I wonder.
I do use the friggin'
'Cause
all
you matte varnish everything,
matte
don't you?
varnish, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Whenever
It's
I
the way
paint
it
with
paints, it's the way it
just
touches, I
just
think,
feels
from
just
brush
feels
to
dusty and
Drags a bit, doesn't it, as
yeah,
well?
don't know. Doesn't do it for me.
Fuck, it's my number one paint. I use it on everything.
I know, mate.
I love it.
Well aware of that fact, Mr. Brown over here. Start calling you Chris Brown from now on. Maybe you
I'm
can
taking to Brown Town.
beat Rihanna.
Ooh.
That's
No,
not
no, no,
What
no,
about-
no,
what
so-
about-
so-
Yeah. What about James Brown? James Brown. There we go.
I,
He feels good.
There's nothing funny about domestic violence, and I'm absolutely
No.
abhorrent of that. But I did see a meme the other day that was related to that particular incident. That was just I lost my shit. I lost my shit. I've just I'll get it for you.
To think about it for a second. Yeah, no, we'll do it.
Okay, I'm not gonna pop this one in the stream. Just
Yeah, no.
but I'll pop it down here. I laughed so hard, and I shouldn't have, but
Oh, they're the best memes. Oh,
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
oh man, I was Yeah.
In
Oh,
as quick as it came in, it's going out. But
Just get rid of it.
yeah, let's send that one.
Yeah.
Did I show you my Lord? I showed these guys my Lord of the Rings meme. That's similar, but fuck, it cracks me up.
Actually, what's meme of the week?
Oh, meme of the
The
week.
dirty paint water in.
There is some crackers
has
in
a
there.
wealth of good memes.
It's about the only thing I go into that Discord for is just to check the memes page and be like, what's happening here today, friends? Oh, good, yes, good.
Well, Minimancer's one is quite savage. Let's just grab that one and move it across. Alec Baldwin, mate.
Oh,
yeah.
god,
Yeah.
those have
The
been
Baldwin
been
memes.
fire lately.
Savage Garden's greatest hits right there. Just absolutely.
Yeah, the Pulp Fiction one is the one I'm particularly
Yeah,
looking at.
yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh dear. Well, look, friends, I think we're almost about ready to finish up stream on some pretty cool skin. I think this orange is shit house. Might tweak that a little bit first. Who are we rating tonight, friends? Any good peeps on about ratings?
Who's on? Listen, I'm a fan of sending it straight to the fella at the bottom of the list with one viewer. Send him 50 odd people and say, how you going, mate?
I do love that. I'm sure there are other people who are like rating. I'm going to go rate someone who's got heaps of followers so I can get heaps of followers out of it. That's not my jam. I'd much rather go raid some champion who's out there just living their best life. You know,
Yeah.
trying to.
He's painting some Imperial Guard. He's painting some Death Corps of Krieg.
Let's have a
He's
look.
called that Guard guy.
Well,
We know
let's-
what we're gonna get.
He's not making any promises.
the only thing I'll say is if he's a 1080p, I'm interested. But if he's
Yeah.
dog shit,
Yeah.
we
He's
do have to have a
definitely
look at Still Up because she rated me the other day. Where is he? Oh, how come he's not coming up on my thing? What did you search for?
I just went in under Warhammer actually. Just browsed under Warhammer.
Yeah, I don't go
So-
Warhammer. I go miniature figures because
Miniature figures, so
I find
you get a little more variety.
a few more display champions.
Yeah.
Here we go. This guy Wavy DL. What are you doing, my guy? Never seen you before.
You know, once I rated like a kid, he was like a literal child. Do you remember that, Ben?
Yeah,
And he started showing us, like, he didn't speak English, but he was really cute, and he started showing us like everything in the sketchbook.
it was
He
great.
was so stoked.
This guy looks cool because first of all he's got a 1080p stream. He's got a palette cam up there and he's using a red grass wet palette. Good champion.
Oh,
Hell yeah, I've got those.
He's got a thing about mental health. #mental health. I dig that.
Send it. What a guy.
I dig that. And he's only got 2 viewers. Wavy
He's the
DL.
Oh, he needs 52.
Wavy
Let's go.
DL, you're my new hero. Welcome. Welcome to the Big Deno family.
Yeah.
Let's
Rolling
raid that
in.
fucking guy. Team, you're all amazing. I'm not streaming on Wednesday night. I am in fact heading to Word Miniatures to stream for them on Wednesday night. Be about 10 o'clock my time, so about this time now is when I'll be starting. So if you want to join me over there, it's Play Word, Twitch, and then I'll be back on Sunday continuing with this. You're all champions. Let's go raid Wavy DL. Peace. Big Deno out. Here we go. We're in. Fucking get hype, Wavy. You fucking mad dog. Get some Deno faces up here. Oh my god, he's put his own melon on Michael Scott's face.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'm a big fan of this guy already.
Yeah.
He's put his own face on fucking Severus Snape.
I'm gonna hit him with the follows.
I'm gonna give him a follow.
Fucking
Get the follow
beauty.
train going.
Down here.
Fucking beauty. Oh my god, his face on Bill Murray. Get
Yeah.
in.
Come on, will you?
Get in.
These are all these follows. Alright.
Oh, look at that one! Look at that one!
He's
Got these.
Oh, my guy.
Alright. Calm down now. I need for all that.
Get some fucking Deno faces. Have a
Right,
Hugo
I'm
face
with
as
you.
well.
I'm a painter, among other things. And yeah, I've just started this, so it looks really, really ugly. So
That's alright, mate. So do we.
for opinion on that, mate. How you doing, alright? What you been up to? Well, I know you've been up to. I was watching you the other day.
He's from north of England,
Doing
he's.
that diorama